Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you after a few hours of decompressing, a third straight series loss, losing to the A's today by the score of 3-0. The Rangers did, and now dropped their second series to the A's in the past week. My goodness, this team is in need of some help. And we're going to talk about what the potential fixes might be. We are going to talk about the moves that the Rangers have made since the end of today's matinee with the A's. And we're going to take all your comments and questions along the way, do a little preview of the Rangers' upcoming weekend series with the Mariners starting tomorrow. That should be fun. That should be a lot of fun with the offense doing what it's doing right now. Oh, my goodness. You can't help but laugh at the end of this. Like, I've gone through all the different stages in this one: anger, depression. At some point, you just got to laugh at how ridiculously bad the offense is right now. I don't know what else to do. Hey, I'm going to take your comments and questions. Maybe y'all can help me through this one, but we got some things to unpack. But first, y'all know the drill here, right on Rangers. We cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers, and especially the Rangers during the MLB season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Get a comment, get a question in the chat. I'll get to it, and we'll go from there. But first of all, let's start with this. Jake Burger optioned to AAA. Option to AAA. I did not think that Burger was going to be the first guy to go down. I almost thought for sure Leody Taveras was going to be the first man down. I did not see Burger, especially after you're batting Jake Burger 3-hole, 4-hole. Just did not expect to see him go down to AAA. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that he's been great, but it's just kind of odd to me. You hit him in the 3-hole like 2 nights ago. Like, I don't know. It feels a little bit like maybe a reactionary move to what's gone down the past couple of days. I know Berger had a hit today. Did not look great a couple nights ago from the 3-hole spot. Golden sombrero, all that good stuff. Look, it was not pretty. But Jake Burger going down, I do think it does send a clear message. See why not messing around. Not messing around at all. The guy that Chris Young traded for in the offseason, clearly Nate Lowe was a little bit more than, hey, talent not working out. Nate Lowe was getting paid double-digit millions. The Rangers didn't want to pay Nate Lowe. And I was having a conversation with my dad a few days ago over lunch, and it's like, Nate Lowe was bad for almost the entire 2024 season. I think a lot of us have the rose-colored glasses a little bit with Nate Lowe, and I love Nate Lowe. I mean, again, y'all see who I got hanging over my shoulder here. Y'all know that I love Nate Lowe. For YouTube, I know it's Josh Young. Nate Lowe's a little bit over off to the left, right-hand side. I love Nate Lowe, but Nate Lowe sucked for a majority of 2024, and he got hot in late August, September, and the Rangers decided, we don't want to pay $10, $11 million to a guy that's going to get hot for 1 month of the season. And so I think that the move was warranted. You did not want to pay $11 million for Nate Lowe and what he did in 2024. The numbers ended up looking okay. But again, everything that Nate Lowe did well was done when the Rangers were out of playoff contention. I love Nate Lowe. I think he's a great clubhouse guy. I think he's got some good tools. I think he's a consistent hitter in some regards. But the beginning of 2024 was terrible for Nate Lowe, and most of the summer was bad too. And so I understand why they decided to go with Burger. It is interesting to me, though, that Burger is the first domino to fall in regards to demotions, DFAs. In this case, just a demotion to AAA for Burger. Hopefully, it can just be a good reset for him. He can get right and come back and help the big league club. I mean, Blaine Crim would really have to light it on fire, I think, to maintain his spot. And I'm happy for Blaine Crim. He's been a guy that has hit well at AAA. never gotten a shot. Hopefully, Blaine Crim can be the guy that gives the offense a little bit of a spark. Look, I'm keeping my expectations right where they need to be, but we're going to be hopeful here on the show. I hope that Blaine Crim has an amazing Major League debut. I'm assuming tomorrow will be his Major League debut. That's always fun. And hopefully he can give this offense a little bit of life. Corey Seager looks to be coming back on Saturday. Don't think we'll see Seager tomorrow. I think he is going through kind of a final set of tests tomorrow to make sure that he's good for Saturday. So hopefully we'll see Corey for at least 2 of the 3 games against the Mariners. But I will say this, by and large, just going wide lens here on the whole Burger demotion, I like the Burger demotion. Even if he's not necessarily the worst culprit on the offense, it sends a message to the team. It sends a message to the entire team. CY's not messing around. He is not going to let this offense be the reason why we don't have success in 2025. And he's going to do everything that he can, try and push every button possible to try and get this offense back on track. Now, I've got my doubts how high the offense can soar, and I've expressed those to y'all over the past couple of nights. I've got my doubts how high this offense can really soar. I don't think that they're going to be this bad the entire season, but I'm not sure that this offense is going to be able to make it back to 2023 mode. I think that we had a lot of flashes in the pan. I think we had a lot of guys hitting at a really, really high level, better than they had ever done in 2023. I don't know if we're ever going to get back to that. And I know that that's hard. It's hard for me, and I know it's hard for some of y'all to come to terms with that because we all want to see these same guys unlock that 2023 mode once more. But I just don't think it's going to happen for everybody. Not saying that a few guys can't regain that form, but I don't think it's going to happen for everybody. I hope Blaine Crim can come up, kill it, keep your spot, man. I mean, look, if Burger ends up back with the big league club pretty shortly here, like they're saying, no problem with it. But I would love for it to be a tougher decision because Blaine Crim is driving in runs and hitting bombs. I would love that. Again, I'm keeping my expectations reasonable, but that's what I'm cheering for. Make this a tough decision, Blaine Crim, please. Give the Rangers something to think about. Instead of this strictly being a reset for Burger down at AAA, how about an emergence for Blaine Crim? I would love that. Absolutely would love it. So I see this move as more of a message sender than anything. Nobody is above potentially getting benched. Nobody is above a demotion. Even the guy that they just traded for in the offseason. And I've got to think there's a little bit of pride. A little bit of CY is burning up right now, having to demote the guy that he just traded for. And I know that Nate Lowe and Jake Burger, it wasn't like it was a straight up swap, right? Nate Lowe and Robert Garcia, that was the swap. Burger, something a little bit different, but you gave up some prospects to get Burger. Like you gave up some, I don't want to say super, super high quality prospects, but you gave up some legit prospects to get Burger. That can't feel good if you're Chris Young, the guy that you just brought over to be a consistent force in this lineup is getting off to whatever he's at, a $180 average. I did think it is kind of coincidental. I thought to myself, Burger, as I looked at his stats when the trade happened, consistent. The dude hit about 30 home runs every year. Granted, there's a lot of time left in this season, but I just kind of said to myself, this guy doesn't strike me as like all-star Hall of Famer, but dude's consistent. He hits about 250 and he drives in about 80, 85, and he hits 30 bombs. I'll take it. I'll take the consistency. But clearly not the start that everyone desired for Jake Burger, and here we are. I do think that there are more moves on the way. You saw Nick Ahmed got DFA'd. They are going to need to make a spot and make on the 40-man for Blaine Crim, so Nick Ahmed gets the DFA. You can probably imagine Jonathan Ornelas is getting a call-up, I would think. You demote Burger, Jonathan Ornelas already on the 40-man. And if they maybe they've already announced that, but I would think with Seager still not available for Friday, you might want to have another infield guy. So maybe Ornelas comes up. I would like to see Evan Carter. JJ, what's good, man? I saw your comment. I would love to see Evan Carter. Absolutely. I think that Evan Carter is on a good streak right now. I think he's reached base in every single AAA game, 18 games. He's on a nice little hitting streak. I would love to see Evan Carter, but I don't know what the plan is going to be for him specifically. I can't imagine they're going to be hitting him a lot against lefties. I think it's going to be a very similar role as he started out 2024 with, where you're playing primarily in the righty lineup when there's a right-handed starter. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I would say who's next. If I had to say who's next, it would be Leote. I think Leote is probably next. I cannot see Leote sticking around for a whole lot longer. I think they want to give Evan Carter a little bit more time down in AAA. But when Evan Carter's ready, I can imagine it's either going to be Leote, maybe it's going to be Dustin Harris, though, before Leote. I do think there is a potential that it's Dustin Harris before Leote goes. I would personally like to see Dustin Harris hang around and Leote get the heave-ho. I'd rather see what we have in Dustin Harris. I've seen 463 Leote starts. I'm good. I've seen 463, the most starts by a center fielder in a Texas Rangers uniform in franchise history. I'm good with Leote. I've seen what I need to see. Give me Dustin Harris. I would much rather Leote get the demotion at this point. But I have a sneaking suspicion they might end up demoting Dustin Harris for Evan Carter when the time comes. Rolando, you might be right. It might be Leote getting dealt in a trade that gets him off the roster, that gets him off the 40-man. Yeah, our offensive issues are definitely not focused or not locked in on one person, right? I mean, Jake Burger is not the only reason why the offense is where it is. I think you always projected Burger to be kind of a 5-6 hitter. And I think to begin the season, he was in the 6th spot, the 7th spot. It's not like Jake Burger was going to be your prime RBI guy. But hitting in the middle of the order, you wanted to see him get off to a much better start than this. I think the Rangers' problems, first of all, you don't have your best hitter, Corey Seager. Second, Marcus Semien, cold start, looking better. I like the at-bats that we're seeing from Marcus Semien. I think beyond the base running blunder, Brad, I saw the base running blunder comment that you mentioned. Beyond that, forgetting how many outs there was, Marcus actually had a decent game at the plate. It was really on the base pass and in the field that Marcus came up a little bit short today. Like, personally, y'all, I thought Marcus should have made that play late. I forget what inning it was. Was it the 9th inning? It was the 8th inning. I don't know I forget which one it was. Maybe the 7th or 8th inning. It was that hard ground ball by Wilson. Marcus has got to make that play. You're a Gold Glover. I know it's a tough play. I know some people are going to defend Marcus. Man, it was 100-something off the bat. Yeah. This dude's a Gold Glover. These guys are major leaguers. Like, we can hold them to a higher standard. It's okay. Nothing frustrates me more than anything when, we make excuses for these guys that are the best baseball players in the world. Gold Glovers, nonetheless. I'm sure there's some people defending the Marcus Semien deflection today on the Jacob Wilson. That ball has got to be snagged. It's got to be snagged. So Marcus did not have the greatest game in the field or running the bases, but he did look good up at the plate. Had some walks today, had a base knock. I got to say, he is looking better up at the dish. But Marcus, a big reason why the Rangers are struggling offensively out the gate. And then you also have other guys that aren't hitting well either. Adolis Garcia, not in a great way. It's not just Jake Burger. It's not just Berg. But I do think that the Burger demotion is more of a message send than anything. Maybe a little reset for Burger, sure. But I think CY is just doing anything at all that he possibly can to light a fire under this team, inject some life into him. I got to get to y'all's comments. Appreciate all y'all being patient. Thank you so much. This is a good point. And I think that where did I see? I think it was Chris Rose on his podcast. I know a lot of y'all probably know Chris Rose. Chris Rose was basically saying, along with Trevor Plouffe, who's kind of his partner on the show, on their podcast that they do, they were basically saying, like, worst offense in baseball, and you're still over 500. I know the Rangers are 500 right now, but at that point when they recorded the show, the Rangers were a couple games over. They were like 16-14. So the point was, you're not like 5 or 10 games below 500 with the worst offense in baseball. It is a gift. I totally agree. Well, that's one of the gold comments of the night. It is a gift. I think the perspective is, I think we got to be thankful that we're not in a worse spot than what we are. The pitching is obviously a big reason why we are treading water right now. But the offense finally coming back down to earth. And a lot of us said it all along, right? It was going to rear its ugly head at some point when the pitching is not perfect. And in this case, giving up 3 runs, who knew? You give up 3 runs, you should be able to win a ball game. I mean, we could go off on a totally huge rant on that right now, but I'll keep it going with the comments. 3-0, 3 runs allowed should be enough to win a game. Really disappointing. We're wasting all of these gems from starting pitching. Tyler Mahle was great again today. I know he played with fire a little bit in his start today, but by and large, looked great. I mean, ERA for Mahle is at 1.19. My goodness. Let me keep going with comments here. Appreciate all y'all. Let's see. Alejandro Osuna for Tavares. I would much rather see Osuna than Tavares right now. Tavares has 2 years left of club control. That's right. That's right. We keep going. I do feel bad for our starters as well. I'm scrolling back up, y'all. So if you had a comment, I'm going to try and get through it as quick as I can. Why not Peterson? Paying him too much money, Tatum. Appreciate the comment. You're paying Jock too much money, and I think Jock might be out of options. You would pretty much have to DFA him, I think, at this point. I don't think Jock has any options left with the kind of contract he has. It's not as easy as demoting, these older vets. A lot of the times you got to DFA these older vets, and they're not going to DFA a guy they're paying $18.5 million for. Agreed. Today's game was very painful, except for the pitching. Pitching was beautiful. Although I will say, Armstrong and who else? Webb, who was in today. Kind of my point on the video that I put out early this morning with Luke Jackson. Clearly, Luke Jackson is not the reason why we are 15, 16 losses, 16-16. Luke Jackson's not the only reason. He's not even the main reason we're 16-16 right now. But the offensive struggles, it doesn't make the 9th inning any less sacred. Like Luke Jackson, you've got to do your job in the 9th inning. It doesn't matter if the offense is not doing well. As fans, we can say, yeah, don't blame Luke Jackson. The offense sucks. But at the end of the day, Luke Jackson's got a job. That is to hold the other team to 0 runs whenever he comes in a ball game as the closer. And he's not doing that. And my opinion on Webb and on Armstrong, we can write off their performances today because the offense was terrible. The reality is, for Jacob Webb, you're coming into a 1-run ball game. You need to keep that 1-run deficit right there. Armstrong, it's a 2-run ball game when Armstrong comes in. So I don't absolve Armstrong or Webb just because the offense isn't doing well. When you're a relief pitcher, most of the situations you come into, there's a very thin margin of error. I think we can all agree on that. So do we take out all our frustration on guys like Jacob Webb, Armstrong, Jackson? I would say no at this point because of how bad the offense is playing. But do we excuse these kinds of performances and write them off just because the offense isn't playing well? For me, it's absolutely not. I've got to be able to trust you in a 1-0 deficit to keep the score at 1-0. And just because the offense has put up 0 runs doesn't give you a free pass to make it 2 or 3-0. So Jacob Webb and Armstrong, my very strong opinion on those two. Why do we even have them if you're just going to consistently give up a run every time you're in the game? And I know Armstrong had a nice little run, just like Luke Jackson did. I mean, Armstrong had like a nice little 6-inning run, not allowing anything to cross the plate. Jacob Webb, to me, has been a little bit off and on all season long, but Armstrong, 3.21 ERA, hadn't been terrible. 2 walks today. For me, I would rather see Mark Church. Like at some point, if Webb and Armstrong are just going to come in and give up a free run every time, you might as well just have Church and Santos and all those guys down at AAA coming on up. It feels like a waste of space to have these older veteran guys taking up a spot on the major league roster just to have them come in and not keep a game close. Mark Church could have done that today. So I'm not too pleased with those two guys, Luke Jackson either. The offense is definitely the focus today, but I don't think we need to be excusing any of the relief pitchers. They've got to keep the lead right where it's at. Keep going. It is sad against the A's. I totally agree. 16-16, I think we got to look at it as a gift. I think that was a gold comment. Great perspective. And people around baseball are saying it too. Like, really? You're like not 5 games below 500 with basically the worst offense in baseball? It's a gift. I'm not happy with it, but you do have to realize this could be a lot worse. JJ, what's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. We keep going. Brad, I hope you're wrong too. I do think that there is time for the Rangers to get this right. The pitching feels too good for this team to not figure it out offensively. Maybe I'm just hoping and wishing here, but it feels like the pitching is just too dominant. You would like to think that the offense, they don't need to start scoring 8 runs a game, but the magic number is 4. Like, if the offense can just get to 4 runs a game, I mean, think about it. You get to 4 runs today, you win the ball game 4-3. Like, we don't need some monumental turnaround. We just need this team to score 4 freaking runs. Like, what's our record? Is it like 11-1, 12-1 when we score 4 or more? We're not asking for this offense to turn into a juggernaut. We're asking for 4 measly runs a game. Berger is a defensive liability at first, Bob. What's good? I actually think he's been decent. I know he's had a couple of blunders of late, but I feel like Berger's actually been pretty decent defensively. I don't think he's been terrible. Maybe the advanced stats say differently, but I have not been overly frustrated with Jake Berger's defensive play, I must say. Still would have kept Nate Lowe over Jock. I think hindsight is 2020. I really do, y'all. I know Nate Lowe is beloved. I love Nate Lowe too. We got to take off the rose-colored glasses. Nate Lowe sucked for a large majority of 2024. There's nothing that you can say to refute that. The dude was terrible for about the first 4 months of the season. He's doing great right now. I'm happy for him. I don't think that we can put on the rose-colored glasses with Nate Lowe. It was ugly for a long time last year in 2024. The glove is great. Gold glove caliber. Nate Lowe, for sure. But the bat was horrific until about August. And then Nate Lowe went on a tear in September, especially when we were already knocked out of the playoffs. So I'm happy for Nate Lowe. I don't wish him any ill will, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he was God's gift to the Rangers lineup last year. He wasn't. If he was, we wouldn't have been so bad offensively. Nate Lowe was a part of the problem last year. He started hitting when it was irrelevant, when it was long gone that we were going to make the playoffs. So I definitely think that it would be great to have Nate Lowe's bat right now, but hindsight's 2020. You don't want to pay Nate Lowe $11 million to do what he did last year, and you really had no indication that he was necessarily going to pick up right where he left off at the end of 2024. Maybe he just had a great month of September when the pressure was off. And in some ways, the pressure is off In Washington, they're not competing for a World Series. They might have some good runs here and there, but I think you can make an argument it's less pressure in Washington. You can be a little more loose. In Texas, the pressure, the expectations, they're a little bit higher. It all changed when you raised the banner in 2023. So I think that there's a lot of things going on with the Nate Lowe situation that you have to consider. It's easy to look at his box score line and say, yeah, what a stupid trade. I mean, we got Robert Garcia, dude, his nails. Like the Garcia Nate Lowe trade in and of itself, it's worked out beautifully, really, for both teams. Washington has gotten a good contributor in the lineup. Texas has gotten a lockdown reliever at the back end of the bullpen. If you want to argue the Berger replacement move, sure. But the Nate Lowe trade was not a bad trade. We got a great relief pitcher in Robert Garcia. That's the only thing I want to make sure we don't get twisted. Like that Nate Lowe trade itself was not a bad trade for Texas, no matter how you want to think about it. We got a controllable, really lights out lefty reliever that's really good against righties too. Not even like a lefty specialist. Ryan, what's good, man? Yeah, hitting coach is definitely at fault. Keep the onus on the players, but the hitting coach is definitely going to get evaluated. Rangers signed Ty, is it Block or Black, to a major league deal? I just got this notification. Let's see what this is all about. I'm going to look him up on Baseball Ref right now. Pitcher. Lefty pitcher. Okay. Lefty pitcher. All right, then. So it's Ty Block. Ty Block is how you pronounce it. I just got this notification, MLB trade rumors on X. Don't know if he's pitched. I don't think he's pitched this year. He pitched the last 3 years for the Rockies, and he was a starter. He was in the bullpen as well. Who knows what this move is all about? I don't think it's anything we need to spend a whole lot of time talking about. Brad says the next move needs to be Leote to AAA. Yeah, that would be my next move for sure. Yeah, Leote, it's just not it this year. Austin, what's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. Both Austins, appreciate y'all. Thoughts on Kumar and Leiter? Leiter's definitely turned a corner. Austin, if you're still hanging out, appreciate you. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, Leiter, I think, has turned a corner. I'm not saying that he's not going to have any down moments over the course of 2025, but it feels like Leiter's turned a bit of a corner. I think Kumar Rocker probably needs to go and spend a little bit of time at AAA figuring it out. And Kumar's got time. He's 1 year removed, even less than a year removed from a major injury, returning from that. So I think Kumar probably needs to go down and get a little bit more experience in AAA. Give it time with this offense. The record will be horrible soon enough. Ultramodern, I hope you're wrong. It's in the back of my mind, but I sure hope you're wrong. Oh, my goodness. Carl Everett or Will Cordero? I got to go at Carl Everett, Green Lantern. Appreciate the follows, by the way. Carl Everett had some decent years for Texas. I know he did really well in Boston. Interesting how aggressive this team is, especially in early counts. Yeah, I think that's a whole part of the problem right now, right? Is this team isn't taking enough walks. JJ, I'm with you. No reason to wait it out. I've said this so many times this year, y'all. Don't wait it out. Don't give us they're going to turn it around. They'll figure it out. No. We watched this all of 2024. That's my thing too. Like, it'd be one thing if we didn't just have 2024 happen. To me, this early has never made sense. This team was bad all of 2024 offensively as well. So the timer is already and was already ticking on this team. Keep going. Thanks for the follows, all y'all. Appreciate you. Yeah, it is wild. JJ brings up the podcast that I was mentioning with Chris Rose. It is wild. And I'm glad to hear an outsider perspective like Chris Rose, Trevor Plouffe. Those guys, they're not Ranger fans, but they're basically saying, be happy You're not like 5 games under 500 right now. And I do think that that is an appropriate perspective. If the offense can figure it out, I mean, we've got a really, really good squad. And like I said, they don't even need to figure it out like Dodger style, scoring 7-8 runs a game. Can we just score like 4 or 5? That's the magic number. Score 4, score 5 runs, Rangers win. Keep going. Big dumper coming to town. Yup. Cal Raleigh. We'll see what he does at Globe Life. Mariners coming to town. It's going to be a fun series. Keep going. Breaking news on the live. Yeah. For Ty Block. Breaking news. Ty Block. Lefty pitcher. Former Colorado Rocky. Signed. Rangers are going to the World Series for sure now. You heard it here first. What do I think about Crim? I think that the guy deserves a shot. He's hit well in AAA, and he's hit well almost at every level. Has never played in a major league game. I think it's time to give him a shot. So I'm all for the Blaine Crim move. I didn't think it would be at the expense of Jake Berger, but hopefully Berg can get a reset. But like I said, I hope Blaine Crim makes it tough on the front office. I hope he does. People need to chill on Jock. A month in, he's heating up. I do think Jock looks better. I even think Marcus Semien looks better. I know those guys are big-time punching bags in Rangers Nation right now. I actually think that both those guys are having better at-bats. Francisco, what's good? There is something to be said about this. The comment from YouTube is the team doesn't want to invest the money for big names. I mean, the Jock Peterson move, Jock is a fairly big name. I wouldn't say he's top tier in terms of name brand, name value, free agents, but I do think that the Jock Peterson move was definitely something. It was significant. It just hasn't worked out. I do hope that the Rangers at the trade deadline are not totally discouraged by guys with slightly higher salaries. I know they're trying to stay under the luxury tax. I get it. I think there's creative ways that they can shed salary and add on some big names. You've got some guys on the club that are making some pretty big money. We talked about John Gray making $13 million. We talked about even Leote making $5 million. That's $18 million you can shed right there if you trade those two guys. I mean, I like John Gray, so I'm not saying I'm all for him being traded, but if you can acquire a bat that maybe costs a little bit, we brought up a few guys' names. There's some affordable options out there if you were willing to deal a guy like John Gray, maybe a Leote as well. Brad, yeah, again, so thank you. Appreciate the backup on Nate Lowe. Like, I know that we're all looking at Nate Lowe's slash line right now, and we're missing him a lot. But it's rose-colored glasses on Nate Lowe. That might be the topic for my next video that I put out. I might need to set some people straight on Nate Lowe. And I don't want it to be like a Nate Lowe troll hate video because I actually really love Nate Lowe. But it definitely is coming up a little too much. People dreaming about what Nate Lowe was really like in 2024. Bad for about, I would say, a good 3/4 of the season. Maybe the last quarter, dude turned it on and looked pretty good. 3/4 of the season, it was bad. Unwatchable. Keep going. Jorge Soler would have been better and cheaper. What's Jorge Soler doing? He's with the Angels, right? I haven't looked at Jorge Soler's numbers. I just know the Angels aren't doing very well right now. Jorge Soler, 243, 5 homers, 11 RBI. I mean, yeah, that's better than what Jock Peterson's doing right now. But look, Jorge Soler, he's had his ups and downs in baseball as well. Frank, keep dreaming, buddy. Keep thinking. But just go back and watch 2023 highlights, my friend. That's all you need to know. Astros fans that actually think that the Rangers are the little brother. Hilarious. Go watch 2023 mixtape, bro. I got some 2023 edits I would love to send you, Frank. I'm going to try and find something. I'll hit you up in the DM a little later. Send you some 2023 edits. We'll see who the little brother is. Aren't Houston fans hilarious? Like, I mean, look, I've got some good buddies that are Houston fans. God bless them. I love them anyways. They're not firing off that Houston is the big brother after what they saw in 2023. Let me put it to you that way. Think whatever you need to think, though. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Whatever helps you. The real ones know. I'm a Padres fan. I miss Higashioka. He's such an asset. Appreciate the comment. Yeah, Hickey's been great. I know he's on the DL, on the IL. Look, I'm old school. DL, disabled list. I know we are a little bit PC these days. Injured list now. My bad on that one. So Higgy, hopefully he'll be back shortly. But I think I've been impressed so far. It's not like he's looking like an all-star, but just seems like a solid presence in the clubhouse and the lineup. I've been very satisfied with Higgy. What's wrong with our ball club? What's wrong is exactly what we all know. The offense. World Series caliber pitching rotation, but the offense is ugly. And I think what's actually happening is we can kind of keep it simple here, y'all. The team's getting older. This is an older Texas Rangers team. You've got a number of guys that are over 30 in the lineup. You got Adolis Garcia, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Jock Peterson. You got a number of guys that are a little bit older, probably on the back nine of their careers at this point. The team is getting older. And with age, you see a little bit of regression. I do think that the team needs to get a little bit younger. That is going to help. You've got some guys in the farm that can hopefully come up and be a part of that. And I think you might have to go out and make some moves, whether free agency or trade. But you got a bit of an aging team at this point. I do think that's what's going on. I think we're seeing that. And it's hard because we all love the 2023 guys, but they're getting older. The bat speed is slowing down. Jeff Passan just had an article about certain guys that have gotten off to slow starts. Marcus Semien was one of the guys he focused on. And he talked about Marcus Semien's bat speed just not being what it once was. Dolly's bat speed slowed down. That was his big problem last year. You've just got guys aging and the lineup is getting older. And I think that we're seeing some of the product of that. That's the best I got for y'all right now. Keep going. Jackson, we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I don't think this division is really anybody's right now. We got Houston and Mariners fans trying to claim the division right now. I don't really think it's anybody's division right now. Texas Repo, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. I just don't see the AL West being anybody's division right now. Maybe one team will take the reins eventually, but I do not see any one of those teams being this dominating presence that's going to run away with the division. The Mariners, the Astros, the Rangers, I don't see any one of those teams winning this division by 5+ games. Maybe the Rangers. That would be the one outside shot, but definitely not the Mariners. Definitely not the Astros. But I think this is going to be a close race all the way through. In all seriousness, I think this is going to be a pretty tight AL West. If the Rangers are playing to their potential, the team will go over the luxury for the right player. I hope that that's true. And honestly, my perspective, I know it's not my money, but you've got 2 or 3 years with Evo DeGrom. And I don't know if Evo and DeGrom are going to be as dominant as they are right now in 2 years. I hope so. But my thought would 100% be go over the luxury tax for the next couple of years. Maximize what you have with Evo and DeGrom, pay a little bit more, and make sure that this window stays wide open. If Evo and DeGrom start regressing and your pitching rotation is not doing what it's doing right now, yeah, you take your foot off the gas a little bit. You try and get under that luxury tax. Right now, I think they need to be doing everything they possibly can to make sure that these Evo and DeGrom years do not get wasted. Keep going. Jake Berger is super streaky, started horrible, still hit 29 bombs and hit 250. I hope that he can come back after the reset, Ultramodern, and make a big difference. Astros are proven playoff contenders. They'll be there. Texas Repo, I think that the Astros have a very legitimate chance to be there. In fact, it's not going to surprise me if all three of the teams we're talking about right now are in the playoffs. I could easily see one of these teams making it as a wild card, maybe even two. I know that's tough, but there's 3 wild card spots. So I could absolutely see all 3 of these teams in the playoffs, honestly. I think that they all have the pieces. The Astros, I will say, and I know it's hard for me to be objective, but losing Kyle Tucker, you're losing some pieces for me, Bregman as well, that were very significant pieces. I just wonder, playoff time, you don't have Bregman anymore. Right? You don't have Kyle Tucker. Those are 2 really huge guys to have in a playoff run. I get Paredes. He's good young player. He's not Bregman. Right? He's not Kyle Tucker. And I know that Christian Walker was signed. Again, Christian Walker is not Bregman. Christian Walker is not Kyle Tucker. So I will say I worry a little bit in the postseason. I think they can have a good regular season. Are you going to be able to get over the hump? Astros got knocked out by the Tigers last year, the Rangers the year before. I have my doubts. But a lot of people are doubting the Rangers right now. So I don't really have a whole lot of room to talk. So take it with a grain of salt. Rangers should definitely make a run at Tucker if the Cubs can't sign him. Any team, every team should be trying to sign Kyle Tucker. This is why, for me, I'm lower. I'm a little down on Houston because Kyle Tucker, to me, I love watching him play, first of all. I know he was with the enemy, but I love watching the dude play. Love his swing. And I think that he is one of the best players in baseball. And I know why the Astros traded him. You didn't want to see him walk in free agency and get nothing. But I love Kyle Tucker. He had a weird year last year, too. It was kind of a weird deal with his injury and how long he was out. But this year, what I'm seeing from him confirms exactly what I've thought all along. And I think any team that's not interested is foolish. He should have a ton of suitors lining up next year. A ton. I would love if the Rangers made a move to go get him. I'm excited to see Crim as well. Jackson, we'll see what happens this weekend, brother. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Blaine Crim does in the debut. I really do. The problem was the fastball. That's why we got Berger and Jock. That's what's hilarious is we got Berger and Jock to be better against the fastball. Go figure. The 2 guys that are literally probably the worst for us right now, we got to try and fix things. Evan Carter could still be the future, but right now they're trying to get him right in AAA. We keep going. Arkansas, too good. They were good today. They beat the Horns, shut them out, didn't they? Hey, but the Horns tied like a record for best start in SEC baseball history, so I think they're doing all right. They're doing all right, Razorbacks. I know Arkansas and Texas have a bit of a rivalry going back, way back in history. But Arkansas, I actually like Arkansas a lot. I've enjoyed cheering for them. One of my best friends lives in Arkansas, big Arkansas fan. I don't know. I just wasn't raised with the Texas-Arkansas rivalry like some of the old school fans were. So, look, don't have that vitriol for the Arkansas Razorback fans and teams. But Arkansas's got a good squad. SEC baseball has been a lot of fun this year for Texas, 100%. Keep going. Daniel, what's good? Thanks for hanging out. The Astros pitching, Hunter Brown, one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. One of the best pitchers in baseball right now. Didn't have that on my bingo card, but Hunter Brown has been lights out. He really has been. Couldn't agree more. Let me see what else we got. I think preview we need to still do for the series coming up this weekend. Let's look at the pitching matchups. Maybe we can take a look real quick at box score, and then I'll get back to comments. So today, Tyler Mahle, 1.19 ERA. My goodness. Quality start. 6 Ks in 6 innings. 6 base runners allowed. Man, just got into a little trouble in that first inning, but the dude was lights out after that. Wyatt Langford was hitting in the 2 spot today, 1 for 4. Simeon 1 for 2 with 2 walks. He had a nice day up at the plate. Berger was 1 for 3. Got the average up to 190, but he's been demoted. Josh Smith got a pinch hit opportunity. Man, it was an ugly one. Josh Smith took a called strike 3. Just happened way too much. And Josh Smith actually had guys on base there. Barnhart had an opportunity. I did not love the Barnhart move. I know you're trying to give Heim a break, but you start Barnhart at catcher today against the lefty. Dude has horrible lefty splits. I get it. You're trying to rest Jonah, but that was a major yuck to me. Like, you might as well just give up a free out. Tucker Barnhart against a lefty starter, Jeffrey Springs. That was gross to me. But beyond that, a lot of offers, right? Berger had a hit. Simeon had a hit. Langford had a hit. Rangers had 3 hits today. 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position, 5 left on base. We talked about Jacob Webb, Armstrong. They've got to be better. You cannot allow this lead to balloon to 3. It's a tight 1-run game through 6 innings. Very next inning after Mahle comes out, you give up a run to double the lead. I'm kind of done with Webb and Armstrong. I want to see some young guys come up. Young guys could do what they're doing right now. They're not doing anything special. Hobie Milner, look, a little bit of tough luck today. I know he allowed one of his inherited runners to score, but look, Marcus Simeon should have made that play on that Jacob Wilson ground ball. That would have saved the top of the 7th, I believe. I mean, Marcus should have fielded this. He was honestly shaded perfectly, and the ball actually comes in on him a little bit. Looked like it had a little bit of spin or tail action. But Marcus has got to glove that ball, knock it down, and throw out Jacob Wilson. That would have kept it at a 1-0 game, and that's where it needed to stay. So I feel bad for Hobie Milner, but Jacob Webb coming in, making a mess, giving up 2 base runners right away. Then Armstrong coming in, giving up 3 base runners and a run. For me, Mark Church could do that, y'all. Seriously. I do like giving Crim a shot. I don't know how I feel about Berger getting sent down because I don't feel like he's the reason why we're in this spot per se. But I do like Blaine Crim getting a chance, and I do like the idea of just shaking things up. Like, I feel kind of bad Berger had to be the guy, but I like the idea of just shaking things up a little bit. What type of trade would I like to see? I've thrown out a few options, and look, here's the criteria. A guy who's actually hitting well right now, and a guy that is maybe, on a team that would be looking to sell. I mean, there's a lot of guys I would love for the Rangers to go out and get. The reality is not everybody's available. I threw out Nolan Arenado. The Cardinals, you don't know who they might potentially be shopping based on their results this season. Another guy on the Cardinals that I really wouldn't mind coming to the Rangers, and a lot of y'all I know were asking for kind of a contact hitter. A guy that I wouldn't mind on the Cardinals if you don't like Arenado is Brendan Donovan. Brendan Donovan kind of reminds me of a Josh Smith type. So I personally would look at him. He's hitting .333 right now, 39 hits on the year. If the Cardinals make Brendan Donovan available, that's a dude I would love to see in a Rangers uniform. So if you didn't like the Arenado idea and you want the Rangers to actually get a guy that puts the ball in play, I think Brendan Donovan is the perfect archetype. So I didn't even think about Brendan Donovan when I threw out the Arenado potential trade a couple of days ago. I think he would be a huge addition I don't know what you're going to have to give up to get Brendan Donovan. But again, the guy's hitting 333 right now, 3 bombs, 17 RBI, 39 hits on the year. I mean, today he went 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. I mean, I would love to see this guy in a Rangers uniform if they make him available. Last year, he hit 278, 73 RBI. I mean, this guy isn't like a big bopper, but he's going to get on base and he's going to put the ball in play. Things that we're struggling to do right now. So I would like Brendan Donovan as a potential option. I think Bo Bichette. I think Marcell Ozuna. Those guys could both be options as well. Keeping it at 1-0. I know that maybe we can sit here and be glass half empty, pessimistic, like it wouldn't have done anything. But the reality is you need to keep the game at 1-0 with this offense doing what it's doing. 2-0 felt like a death sentence. So I'm not trying to be apathetic. The Rangers relievers have to come in and do a better job. I hear what you're trying to say. I'm not trying to get too deep with it, Harrison. But for me, I want to see Webb and Armstrong come in a 1-run deficit and do exactly what they're supposed to do. Keep it there. And doesn't really feel like they're doing that at this point. Rangers leadoff hitters need to be better. Agreed. Although the Rangers have had a lot of opportunities in games getting guys on base early in innings and then not doing anything with it. But leadoff hitters specifically, like the guy in the one spot, sure, I'm with you there. But honestly, I feel like the Rangers over the past couple of games have had a lot of opportunities where they get the first or second or both guys on in an inning and then do absolutely nothing with it. Marcell Ozuna, I think, would be perfect. You can DH him. The only thing is you kind of have an issue with what you do with Jock Peterson. If you want to keep playing Jock, then you've got to have one of those guys in the outfield. Neither guy is a super great defender at this point. So that's the only thing about Marcell Ozuna is what do you do with Ozuna and Jock Peterson? You're going to have to play one of them in the field. That's going to be a little tough. Eric, what's good, man? Big series starting tomorrow. Come hang out all weekend, buddy. We do need hits with runners in scoring position. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. Hey, I want to say I appreciate everybody that's followed. I see a lot of y'all on TikTok have followed during the live. Hey, if you're watching right now and you like what you're seeing, I would love and be very appreciative. You hit that follow, hit that subscribe button. Hey, we go live almost every day. I mean, I'm not perfect, but it's nearly every day there's a Rangers game. I'm here. We're talking baseball. We're having a great time. So come be a part of it. Turn on those notifications too. I know that when you subscribe or when you follow, sometimes you automatically get notifications or at least certain notifications, but make sure you're getting all my notifications. That way you get notified every time we go live, every time I post a video, so you don't miss any of our latest and greatest content. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Stars, man, what did they just do? I just got an update on them. They're down 3-2 right now. Is that right? Man, I hope they come through. Hope they come through. The Knights, y'all know I'm from the Vegas area. At this point, I grew up in Arlington and lived there for many years, but I live in Vegas, lived here for about 15 years. So Knights and Stars are my two teams. Stars were my childhood team. And just being here in Las Vegas, being a local, it's hard not to love the Knights. I know the Knights and the Stars go back and forth, but I love seeing both teams do well. I know a lot of y'all have multiple teams that you follow for sports anyways. Those are kind of my two. But Knights are moving on to the next round. I hope the Stars can figure it out too. Hope they can figure it out. Yeah, Brad, thank you, man. Appreciate it. All y'all, thank you so much. The kind words, they mean a lot. Thoughts on Leote? Trade him? I mean, trade him. DFA might be something they have to consider. I've seen all I need to see from Leote Taveras. I do not want to see Leote continue on the path to 500 starts in a Rangers uniform in center field. Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I want to see some Dustin Harris. I want to see other guys get an opportunity. Keep going. Season has already been an emotional roller coaster, man. Can y'all believe we were 8-2 at one point, man? I was riding high, 8-2. Rangers were 8-2, man, and we were on top of the world. Best record in baseball. And now you've seen the Rangers go, what, 8-14 over their next 22 games? Not good. Leote, does he have options left, though, Brad? I don't know if Leote even has options left. Like, do you just have to DFA him, or does he have like 1 or 2 options left? I'd have to look up Leote and see. But it feels like he's getting pretty dang close to not having any options. See if I can figure it out on Baseball Ref. Let's see. Free agent in 2028. It doesn't say how many options he's got on Baseball Ref, so not sure. Josh, I am ready for the Mariners to come to town. I sure hope we can have a little bit of a better result than what it was when we went up to Seattle. The Northwest area of the country is kind of the Rangers' house of horrors. I'm hopeful that at Globe Life Field in the friendly confines, we are going to see a much better product and a much better result. I'm excited about the pitching too, Dalton. The bats, I think we got to get some fresh blood in the lineup. And maybe Blaine Crim is going to be the answer in that way. Maybe not, but I think we got to get some fresh faces in the lineup. Ricky, can we trade the bullpen? Look, there's a few guys that I could definitely deal with trading. By the way, Stars just tied it up. Let's go. Stars tie it up at 3-3. Dallas Stars. Let's go. I love it, man. Would be sweet. I love seeing the Stars do well. Grew up cheering for them almost my entire life through 18, 22. I was 22 when I moved out here to Vegas. 15 years later. Whew. Like, man, I would love to see the Stars, though, advance here. Do not want to see the Avs. Every time I put on the Stars game, they start losing. Don't watch it, Ricky. Keep the TV off, please. We're begging you. Carlos, I think that Carter is going to get brought up. Appreciate the comment, but I do think that Osuna is going to be a guy you probably don't see until next year, unless it gets like super crazy, y'all. Like absolutely continued terribleness. And maybe you start seeing some of the young guys get urged up to the big league level. But I think ideally you don't see Osuna until like probably next year. Ricky, appreciate it, bud. Thank you so much for that. Means a lot, man. Grateful. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely don't want to see some of these guys in the minor league level get rushed to the big leagues. That's another thing that's frustrating about the offense is you don't want to see some of these guys get hurried in their progression and mess it up. Whereas if you're going well offensively, you can keep guys on a good trajectory and make sure they're truly ready for the next stage. You start getting a little desperate when you're this bad on offense. I just hope they don't rush anybody. That would be my big thing. Don't rush anyone. Trade Jock for a Whataburger patty melt. Whoo! I don't know if Whataburger's taking that trade. Carlos, I don't know if Whataburger's saying yes to that. I think Whataburger might want to keep that patty melt. Like, seriously. The Whataburger hoodie on Tuesday, though. Man, those did look nice. I think almost everything the Rangers put out promotion-wise seems cool to me, though. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I really wish we just blew the whole thing up. They might have to do that here in a few years, y'all. I mean, I hate to break it to you. There's a lot of guys getting old. Unless you have some of these guys from the minor leagues like Carter, Osuna come up and really kill it. I do fear that in 2 or 3 years, the Rangers might have to do some serious retooling. I don't think this is a dynasty built to last forever as currently constructed. I think this is a team that has a 3, probably max of 4-year window before they have to do some serious retooling. Guys are just getting old, man. They're just getting older. I'm not trying to say that to be a hater or to be a pessimist, but we've just got a lot of guys getting older. In 3 or 4 years, I am very interested to see what this team looks like. Corey Seager is going to be, 35 probably by that point, 34, 35. Marcus Simeon is going to be in upper 30s. I think he'll be out of contract in 4 years. But, y'all, I'm serious. I worry about what 2029 is going to look like for the Texas Rangers. I don't think this is a team that's about to go on like a 10-year run of dominance. I think this is a team that has a 3 to 4 year window, and they have to maximize it. That is the problem with the 10-year contracts. Jock probably won't get on base by 2029. Jock's been doing better. Come on now, y'all. Jock and Marcus have been looking a little bit better. I mean, look, it's not hard to look better when you start the season hitting under 100, but they're looking better. We're sticking with that story. Moore will be up by 29. Look, that's what you need, though. Hard Chuck, that's my point. You've got to have some guys come up from the minor leagues and really start killing it and looking good if you don't want to do that full-on rebuild. And I hope the Rangers can avoid it with bringing up these young guys that they've done well drafting. And I hope that guys like Osuna and I hope other guys, like you said, like Malcolm Moore and other players that we have high up on our prospect list, if they can come up and be big contributors, you can avoid rebuilds. But if you don't hit on a number of your prospects, it starts getting dicey. We keep going. Yeah, like Nico, right? The window is 3 years. It really is for the Rangers. It's about a 3-year window. That takes you to the end of the Evo contract. I think it's about a 3-year window to maximize. Anybody that says it's longer is really, really guessing that some of these prospects are going to pop in a major way. Hey, what's good? Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Walcott, look, I think Walcott is definitely on his way. You never know how it's going to work out with these top prospects, but if Walcott can come up and be the kind of player that people are projecting, that helps a lot in avoiding a rebuild. Really does. We got our first Fire Nico on the live. Yes, sir. I think that that's probably what it's going to take for Dallas Mavericks fans to start healing. Even if the team does do well next year, when everybody's healthy and Kyrie comes back, I almost feel like there's nothing else beyond a Nico firing that's going to help this team heal. Gio says, I don't really watch hockey, but go Stars. That's kind of me. I will watch the big matchups during the regular season. Once playoff hockey comes around, I'm pretty glued to the TV. But I will say during hockey season, I'm locked more in on football, on basketball, a little bit on baseball, right? Especially during October. And then when March rolls around, April. But I love playoff hockey. It's awesome. It's awesome. We keep going. Did I get everybody? I think I did get all the comments. Let me go ahead and start previewing the Seattle series. I don't think we need to focus on this game today anymore. Spoiler alert, it was not a good one. It was one of the worst Rangers games this season. 3 hits. I mean, I knew Jeffrey Springs had his good moments with the Rays. And in fact, before his big injury that he's just coming back from, he was killing it with Tampa Bay. Again, making a guy that's really not known for being an ace look like Cy Young. Tomorrow, we face Brian Wu again. And you might remember that Brian Wu start. It was a Friday night, I believe, in Seattle. And we loaded the bases against him. Bases loaded, nobody out. There was like a weird fly ball that fell. Adolis Garcia hit it. We only ended up getting like 1 run in the first inning off Brian Wu. And then he like shut us down. He retired like double-digit batters in a row. Jack Leiter is throwing tomorrow. 2.03 ERA on the season. Let's do the matchup for each hitter against the opposing pitcher. We've got Adolis Garcia, 3 for 10 with a home run against Brian Wu. Jonah Heim looks like 3 for 11 with 2 RBI. Josh Young, 2 for 9. Wyatt Langford, 1 for 3 with the home run against Seattle starter Brian Wu. Marcus Semien, 5 for 11 with the bomb. Simi, I feel like, has gotten like 3 or 4 games in a row where he's had some really nice matchups against pitchers that he hits well. He had good numbers coming into today's game against Springs. Had a nice game today. So I hope that Simi can continue to have success against guys that he's hit well in the past. The past few games, that's been true. Josh Smith, 2 for 6 with 2 RBI. Leody Taveras, home run against Brian Wu, 2 for 9 batting average. And then on the other side, against Leiter, Rosarino, 1 for 4. Crawford, 1 for 4. Polanco, 1 for 5. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh, 0 for 2. And then J-Rod is 2 for 5 with 2 homers against Jack Leiter. Stay away from Julio Rodriguez tomorrow, Jack. Avoid that guy. 2 bombs, 2 hits, 5 RBI for J-Rod. So if you can stay away from J-Rod, the rest of the lineup, not a lot of ABs. Only 5 guys in the Mariners lineup have at-bats against Leiter. So I think that tells me he probably came in relief and pitched against them a little bit. What's Seattle been doing? They've been winning some ball games of late, haven't they? Let me see what their recent games look like right now. Go to the schedule right quick. So, it doesn't tell me. Hate it when it does that, man. Come on. Let me turn back the calendar. Okay, good, it does. So they just swept the Angels. Is that right? What was today? Did they not play today? Just a 2-game set with the Angels? That's weird. So they won their last 2 games. They're actually on a 4-game winning streak right now. Okay. So the Mariners are looking pretty good at the moment. And Brian Wu has done well against the Rangers. We'll see how this goes, y'all. We will see how this goes. I got to say, I'm not feeling super optimistic. I hope that Jack Leiter dominates and we can scratch maybe 3 runs across. By the way, on Saturday, it's Patrick Corbin against Luis Castillo. Sunday, it'll be DeGrom against Evans. So we get 2 DeGrom starts in 1 week. That's a treat. Go to Sunday's game. Go watch Jacob DeGrom. You don't know how many more years he's going to be pitching. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Go watch the man pitch. Gary, good man. Good man. I sure wish that I was joining you. Every time you can go see Jacob DeGrom, like if you don't have anything going on, go buy you the cheapest seat at Globe Life. Go watch Jacob DeGrom pitch. You want to be able to say in 20 years, I saw Jacob DeGrom pitch. That's how good this dude is. And I sure hope, I know he got a ring in 23, obviously, but clearly didn't pitch during the Rangers postseason run. Got some wins at the beginning of the season, but I would love to see DeGrom get one more ring. Go see DeGrom every single time you can this season. He's only going to have so many starts at Globe Life this year. I can't encourage you enough. I know it doesn't always work out in the schedule, but if you're a diehard and you're able to go, go. 100%. This guy is going to be one of and go down as one of the best pitchers to have ever played this game when it's all said and done. I firmly and confidently believe that. You want to be able to tell the generations to come you watched DeGrom pitch in person. Justin, hopefully you can make it to a game soon. You went to World Series Game 3? Oh, you mean Game 2. Yeah, I know. I actually, one of my best friends from high school, he went to Game 2. I was kind of bugging him, dude, come with me to Game 1. My wife and I had tickets. We got the grandparents to watch the kids. We flew out to Arlington, and I was bugging some of my buddies. Come on, buy a ticket, buy a ticket. My wife and I already have seats, so we'll meet up at the game. It'll be awesome. Game 1. And nobody ended up being able to make it. The tickets are expensive, right? I mean, they're hundreds of dollars, right? It's definitely a little crazy World Series prices, but they ended up, I think one of them ended up going to game 2, the one game they lost. And then, of course, they win all 3 games in Arizona and never came back to Globe Life after that. But I feel your pain. JJ, you saw DeGrom Tuesday? Good man. You saw the only good game this week so far. I am sorry for game 2. For game 2 watchers, you missed the game of your life in game 1. Ugh. Game 1 was special, y'all. I could talk about game 1 forever. All right, I got to get out of here. I appreciate all of y'all hanging out. Tomorrow, we are going to be back after the first game against Seattle. Seattle, one of the best records in baseball right now. I love it when the Rangers go up against these good teams. It's more fun than playing the White Sox or the Rockies. I don't know. I know that the Rangers have had a tough schedule so far, but I always enjoy when they go up against good competition. So I'm excited for this series. Hey, love from India. Appreciate that, bud. Thank you. Thank you very much. Means a lot. Let me keep going here. We've got Adam. What's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. Blaine Crim might be able to hit at least 200. That's what we're all saying. Like some of these minor league guys at some point, they're not going to do worse than some of the major league guys that have been bad so far. Oh, my goodness. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great Friday. Finish the work week strong. And let's hopefully watch a great weekend of Texas Rangers baseball. Steady connects tomorrow. Yes, sir. And we got Jacob deGrom pitching on Sunday. Jack Leiter, the kid, tomorrow night. Can this offense get back on track, please? I don't need y'all to start scoring double digits. Just give me 4 runs a game. Please. I know you can do it, Rangers. 4 runs tomorrow night. I think that'll get the job done. I really do, with how good this pitching staff has been. All right, y'all. We'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not, maybe Saturday, Sunday. I'll probably go live during some of the games as well, like we've been doing, maybe 8th inning, 9th inning. So hope to see you there. If not, catch us on the replay. If you want my in-game commentary, please follow me on Facebook, Threads, X, Blue Sky, wherever you go for that sort of thing. I will post probably at least 10 to 20 times throughout a game, giving you my live reaction. Of course, we always do the lives after the game. But if you need something a little bit more immediate, that's where you can find me, at Right On Rangers. Again, X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Facebook, Blue Sky, all that good stuff. Justin, appreciate the gifts, man. Thank you so much. Very grateful. Appreciate everybody that's followed during the show today. Means a lot to me. Let's keep growing this great group of people we got talking ball, talking Rangers baseball. I love it. Have a great rest of your Thursday night. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.